Go, go.
Today, we're exploring a question that many golfers have wondered. At what handicap can you shoot even par? In this course vlog, we'll be diving into golf strategy and exploring the tactics that can help you shoot better scores using decade golf. So, if you're a handicap golfer like me and looking for scoring strategies that will take your golf to the next level, let's get started right meow. And I put a really good swing on this one, a little bit off balance, but again, I smoke it down there and I'm hole high way past the flag at this point and actually end up going through the fairway. That's okay. I got a 40-yard chip here and I choked down on it, and there was no need to choke down on this shot because I'm hitting out of the dead grass. It's not going to release. There's no moisture. There's no dew. So feeling a little nervous as I get up here to this one. Hit a pretty decent chip. It does release out a bit further than I'm expected, but at the end of the day, I've got like a nice little 3-foot putt back for par. Not too bad to start the day.
I am just trying to calm my nerves. Happens every once in a while in tournament play on that first hole, that first putt, especially when I'm trying to get off to a good start. Oh, picking up my thing, make a par. Sometimes just get a little antsy, but it's okay, made a par.
Up next, we got a 143-yard par 3. I'm pretty much trying to aim this at the center of the green every single time. The green is really only 20 yards wide, which at this number, decade golf would basically give us the center of the green as the most optimal target. I end up leaving this one just a little bit short. It pulls back, but I hit a really fantastic chip in here and leave it to about 1.5 feet for an easy par save tap in. Moving on to my favorite par 5. This is where I can really let it go, and then at this point, again, aiming at those 2 trees on the left, I'm going to play a fade back into this fairway, and there's really nothing on this hole that I'm thinking of other than just putting a good, strong swing on it, get myself and my nerves calmed down, and I absolutely lace this drive and just send it right exactly where I was aiming.
Just making a little mental note to myself. Sometimes when I'm on the course, I get to feeling a little bit tense and just like, you know, a little bit anxious, a little bit worried, and I feel like if I just let it rip with just one good swing, that just kind of alleviates it, right? I'm just probably a little bit worried about where is this gonna go, what's gonna happen, and there's just no reason to worry about that, right? Like just swing hard, trust that I got the game to do what I need to do, and obviously just absolutely obliterated that drive. So let's get up here, let's look at our target, let's try to get this thing close on a par 5 and see what we can do from there.
Up here in the fairway, I've got about 190 yards into the green. Again, it slopes very severely back to front, so I hit a 6-iron and I started on the right line, but it fades just a little bit too far right of my target. It ends up in the bunker. Moving forward, I should probably be taking a little bit more club into this approach shot since the green does get a bit more fat. Little bit of a missed club choice there. Hit a pretty nice duff and run sand shot here to about, I think I want to say 6, maybe 7 feet. Pretty straightforward putt, just gonna break a little bit more to the left, right in the center of the hole, starting the day off right with a birdie.
Check out my new head cover. Isn't that cool? Little Black Panther. It says Wakanda Forever on the back. I am really loving that bad boy.
On to the par 4 13th. Again, aiming at that solo tree in the back. That's the best driving target. Hit this one pretty out the heel, but overall was a pretty good result. Ends in the far right edge of the fairway. And then as I'm getting up to this one, I have a pretty clean number, which should be a full sand wedge. I just hit about maybe 4 or 5 inches behind it, rides at the face, ends up leaving the shot 100 yards. So it's, you know, maybe a 70, 80-foot putt I've got coming up this hill. I really paced it out and worked on my pace and speed, and I've been doing a lot of practice with this, and I hit an absolute fantastic putt and just lagged this up to the hole about 3, maybe 4 feet behind it, 3 feet probably, and then able to go in here and get out of this hole with a pretty great par.
Woo! Good par.
Moving on to the par 3, hit a nice 9-iron. This is a great shot. I'm just wiping these shots a little bit more left to right than I'd like to. I land hole high and it just kicks right, but overall it was a pretty good shot. Just staying committed to working with what I have on that day.
Striking the ball, I'm hitting it well. Huge lesson. When you are hitting it well and you have a consistent pattern, stick with it. This was a good shot. I hit it hole high. It just got a bad kick. That was all. This is going to roll and release a lot left. So I'm going to keep this low because it's going to roll and it's going to come all the way over here. If I keep it low over here with a 54, if I could even land it in some of this, take some speed out of it. That is, I don't think I need to say anything about that. That was just clutch.
Got a pretty long par 4 here, and again, for whatever reason, I can see it in the video now as I'm going back to replay it. I just hesitated and I probably should have stepped off of it. Didn't make great face contact with the ball, but I just wiped this shot probably 60, maybe 70 yards to the right of where my intended target was. End up in the fairway on 16.
Had some thoughts in my mind that I probably should have stepped off on. Just a few things in my mind that just jumped in there that I had a thought about the water left in my mind. Don't know why I was thinking that. Doesn't matter why I was thinking that, and it's okay that I thought that. I should have just stepped off and reconvened. It's the little tiny things that make big differences. Such a huge, tremendous difference. Fortunately, I'm dry, so I'm gonna go ahead and find this other ball. I'm gonna hit it, get it close to the green, see what we can do to get it on and in play.
From here, I've got about 190 yards into the green, and I am trying to fit this, I'm trying to hit this into the center of the green. Unfortunately, I send it on my intended line, which is directly through these two palm trees, but I just wipe this off the toe, and this ball lands on the top right side of the green and just kicks disgustingly far down and right under this tree that literally is back into the par 3 11th hole. From here, I got a really difficult chip. I've got to keep it low and fly at 40-something odd yards just to land on the green that's sloping away from me. Do a pretty good job of that. Get up here, I've got about a 35, almost 40-foot putt, and I hit it on what I felt was a pretty good committed target, but I did not quite intend for it to roll out this far. Got a 7-footer to come back and just ever so lip it out for a double. Really not happy with this one. Shaking it off, we're back to the par 4. Gonna go ahead and send this up the fairway to the left. Put a little bit of a wipey heel cut on it, and it just kind of bleeds out to the right. Ball ends up just a little bit to the left of this, my favorite tree here. Sometimes I'm usually blocked out by this tree. Fortunately, this time I wasn't.
Something that I haven't been doing a lot of, and that I'm now gonna start doing, is celebrating when I get a good break, because this is a good break. This tree isn't even in the way, nothing's impeding me, and I got away with a really less than average swing.
I thought about going with 8-iron here, ended up going with a little bit of a soft 7. I hit it very well. It was on a downslope. It came out a little bit hotter than expected. Landed hole high and just didn't grab, kind of pitched over the back of the green. I thought it would be worse than it was, but it really wasn't that bad of a shot, all things considered. Ended up hitting a really great chip here, just inside of a few feet. Almost missed this putt just because I got a little lazy with it. On to the next par 4 here. Put a really good swing on this ball.
Yeah,
very committed
there we go.
And this is probably one of the best holes that I've played in a very long time.
That was a nice little shot. What am I thinking right now? Nothing really. I understand that we got some work to do, but I just got to keep this thing one ball in front of me at a time and just one shot at a time and just keep doing what I know how to do best. Yeah, I'm feeling like super relaxed. No nerves, no anxiety, not worried about much of anything. I'm just focused on staying in the zone, hitting my target, picking good selection, club selections, and just putting good swings on the ball, seeing what these last 2 holes can do for us.
And I do a fantastic job of staying very disciplined here. Now, this flag is at 100 yards, and it's on a severely downslope front, back to front green. I could hit a 100-yard shot, but the likely reality is that it's going to zip off of the front. I want to make a birdie here because I know that I made a double and I want to make up strokes, but as Decade teaches us, you can't force birdies. You just have to pick smart targets, put committed swings onto balls, and execute and just hope for the best outcome. And instead of doing something silly here, I make a really smart decision to just choke down a sand wedge, hit it full, not trying to do anything crazy here or stuff it into this flag or make birdie. I get up, I've got about a 16, 17 foot putt for birdie that I really want. I hit it with a good speed. It just goes to a bit of this roughish, green under repair area type. And I just don't make the putt, but I stay committed through this hole despite knowing that I really wanted to make birdie. Get over to the 18th and final hole, and I'm just going to send this one straight over these trees, absolutely lace it, putting a really good swing on the ball. just being very committed with the driver, trying to do my best to keep my mind off a score and just put good swings on the ball. As we get up here, I think I got about 80 yards into the green. I just flare this one out a little bit more right than I expected. My decade target was pretty much center of the green from this distance. I just didn't quite hit a really good wedge shot. And we'll see what happens next. Can I make birdie on this hole from 37 feet to save even par for the back nine round?
Not quite gonna get it done, just lagged it up there to about 2 or 3 feet, went and tapped that in for a final score of 1 over 36 on the back nine. All in all, I'm very pleased with this round considering how poorly I struck the ball with irons. And one thing Decade is really showing me is that with proper patience and discipline, you can really shoot good scores even if you aren't striking the ball as well as you would like to be. Provided you're picking smart targets, you're going to be missing in the correct spots. So they're going to give you easy up and downs and the ability to get out of a rough day of golf without putting some really big numbers on the scorecard. That's all I got for you. Deuces, people. Let's keep it moving.